6, Colton Grimwood, escorted by Tiffany and Matt Grimwood. Number 7, Owen Attaway, escorted by Rachel and Eric Attaway.
Hey folks, we're enjoying senior night here.
Number 22, Josh Welling. 23, Caleb Vaughn, escorted by Joy and Charles Vaughn.
Good evening, everyone. We are listening to senior night here at Mason. Welcome one and all. A little bit of an early start here. Game's coming up in about 15 minutes, but we wanted to try to give everyone their due, and I don't want to talk over it. So welcome one and all. This is senior night, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome one and all.
Avery Kirchensteiner, escorted by Ingrid Nova, Brian Kirchensteiner, and Lisa Schellis. Ellie Copin, escorted by Paul and Teresa Copin. Brody McDonald, escorted by Drew and Autumn McDonald. Aaron Meehan, escorted by Michelle Lockrone and John Meehan. Derek Moran, escorted by Lana Miller, Justin Moran, Tony Trumbull, and Stephanie Moran. Bella Patterson, escorted by Mike and Laura Patterson. Escorted by Beth Bosfield, representing Gavin's parents, Wesley and Ashley Kavanaugh. Rue is escorted by Lisa Rue and Bobby Rue III. Anna Sanders, escorted by Michael and Michelle Sanders. Neela Sellen, escorted by Eric and Nicole Sellen. Matthew Shoemaker, escorted by Ben and Amanda Shoemaker. Brewer Stores, escorted by Matt and Ryan Diebold. Emma Wilkinson, escorted by Alan Wilkinson and Shelley Torelaba. And finally, Aaron Yergler, escorted by Andrew Yergler and Casey Benda.
Folks, we're going to pan across here in just a hot second. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mason Senior Night. I'm Glenn Dudasek with Lansing Herald Media Group, LansingTV12.com. Proud to be here tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for your 2025 seniors.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, your game is set to start here in about 9 minutes. As I said, I'm Glenn Dudasek with Lansing Herald Media Group. This is LansingTV12.com. We've got Tom and Colton getting ready to call your game. It is a beautiful, a little bit blustery night up here. We are on top of the roof out in the elements. We will do our best to bring the game to you. If for any reason this game drops your feed, we are beaming this to you through the magic of outer space. Sometimes the airport wreaks havoc with our wireless stuff, but if for any reason we drop, just give us a minute. We will do our best to bring it back up as soon as possible. Just hit refresh, and we'll get you guys back in the game. So everything we do here at the Lansing Herald Media Group is, we keep things sunny side up. So what that means is we're going to tell you about what goes on. If something happens that goes wrong, we're not going to dwell on it. These guys get enough pressure. We're not going to criticize the coaches, question the refs, or challenge the players. They get enough pressure from other places in their lives. They don't need it from us, too. So we hope you guys are okay with that style of storytelling. It's just something that we believe in here at the Herald. So what is LansingTV12.com? Well, the MHSAA opened up live streaming and the ability for us to bring broadcasts to you guys outside of their subscription platform, and that was a big deal for us. We've been able to do it here and there with special permissions for like hockey games and stuff, but being able to do games like tonight, to bring this to people for free, has always been something that I've wanted to do. Free is my favorite four-letter F word, but it matters to me and the guys up here. And we just needed a place to put it, right? The Herald made sense if you wanted to read. We've got radio call now on TalkLansing.com. Mason fans, I know you guys know that. And then we needed a place for the TV. So we've got what we call TV here at LansingTV12.com. We're building it as we go. We're going to have some local programming here. We believe in kind of local programming from local people, but that's going to take some time to set up. So right now we've got some Dusties out there, some favorites, some of your old Westerns, some of my favorites, The Lone Ranger. We will incorporate more movies and more personal shows, personalized local shows as we come on. So for now, we'll have the game of the week, and this is our TV12 game of the week, Mason versus Fenton. This is going to be a great game, folks. I know the guys will tell you all about it, but I'm hyped for it. Mason, one of the best teams in the area. We've been with you guys through the Final Four. We stood with you at Ford Field. We thought this would be a different year, and it really hasn't been. You guys are just elite, and this is going to be good because Fenton comes in at 7-1 tonight. Mason stands tall. This is going to be a great tune-up. In a lot of ways, this is going to feel like a playoff game, though it's not. That comes next, but we know that it's going to have that atmosphere here tonight. We've got about 6 minutes on the clock. I want to thank our community sponsor for the evening, Robert Dowding Group at Keller Williams Realty, right there in downtown Mason. They really do. The one thing people ask is they say, what can we do to help you guys, Glenn? It's just support those who support you. If you've got a home on the market, you're thinking about getting a home on the market, maybe you're like me. Maybe you're looking at empty your nest all of a sudden and your house feels giant and you want something a little bit more manageable. Or you're going the other way and you're like, whoo, having 3 kids in one bathroom is not great, so I need a new home. Call and contact the Robert Dowding Group at Keller Williams Realty. They'll take care of you. I believe they're going over starting lineups overhead here. Fenton. Any of the Fenton fans, welcome, guys. We'll do our best to call the game enthusiastically on both sides of the field. That's just something that we know that you guys want to be here and you can't be, and we do get folks from around the world. I'll say this now. If there are any active service men and women who are out there listening or watching tonight, welcome home. To the veterans who are with us, we know not what you've given, but we proudly thank you for that. And then for the families out there who support them both, we do know what that means, and we stand with you. All right, your game in just a matter of minutes. Mason versus Fenton coming up next.
I'm Robert Dowding, associate broker and owner of the Robert Dowding Group at Keller Williams Realty. Originally from Eaton Rapids, my family and I now call Mason our home. On your next real estate transaction, put our over 30 years of experience and market knowledge to work for you. Call myself or Danielle French at the Robert Dowding Group today. We are your Mason hometown realtors.
Today I'm going to tell you about sportsmanship because it's important. Treat your opponents the way you would want to be treated. My mom says that. Listen to the referees. It's their job. Be nice to their team and our team. Cheer them on. Always play fair. It's the right thing to do. It's sportsmanship. It's not that hard.
Folks, we are part of the MHSAA broadcast network, and as such, we'll have messages from the MHSAA throughout the course of the night. They're very happy to bring you guys sports from across the state. We're going to turn it over and let you listen into the sounds of the stadium.
We'd like to welcome our visitors from Fenton High School. In keeping with the great American football tradition, the Mason High School Marching Band is taking the field under the direction of Beth Boustier with Matt Slazak and Ellen Hampton. Drumline instructors Ben Popple and Josie Popple. Color guard instructor Maddie Quinlan. Drum majors Emma Wilkinson, Avery Kirschensteiner, and Reese Ball.
Your Mason Marching Band ready to take the field.
We invite you to show your Bulldog pride and cheer along as the band plays the Mason High School fight song.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of the finest bands in all the land, the Mason Marching Band.
Ladies and gentlemen, the privilege of this event was made possible by those who have fought for the freedoms we enjoy. Let us now honor and respect their efforts and our country. Civilian gentlemen, please remove your hats. All veterans, we encourage you to render the appropriate salute, and everyone able, please stand at attention. Placing your hand over your heart as we proudly play our national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem. Thank you one and all for being a part of tonight's broadcast. MHSAA football, your Lansing TV 12 game of the week, coming up next.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mason, Michigan, Week 9 of the MHSAA football season on LansingTV12.com. We got the Mason Bulldogs at home. The Fenton Tigers are in town, a clash of two top teams in Division III vying for home playoff positions. I'm Colton Wesley. I'm here with Tom Lewandowski. Both of these teams already know their playoff fate. They are playing in Week 10. The question is where? Mason, they want a home game. Right now, they're ranked number 12 in playoff points. Who gets a home game is determined by a lot of factors, one of those things being who's in the region, and we don't know who the 32 teams are. We don't know what the regions look like. The best way to get as many home games as possible is get as high in the standings as possible, and a win tonight over Fenton, Tom, would do a lot for Mason if they want to host some home football games during the playoffs.
Yeah, it really would. And realistically, just knowing the regions that Mason is usually in, being the central mid-Michigan area, I would be on the safe side. Even with that 12th ranking, win or loss, they will probably host both games in their region just due to who they've played and the region that they most likely will be in. But either way, this will be a fantastic game for both of these teams. And hopefully at halftime we can also update you on games around the area and teams also in playoff hunt contention in the Lansing area.
The Bulldogs have taken the field. It's Halloween night in the Mason student section, so you're going to see cheerleaders and students wearing costumes. It's a beautiful night for football. Temperatures in the lower 50s, and they're going to drop throughout the night into the mid-40s. Tom, it's senior night for these Mason guys. Talk about what that means for these players.
Well, in cases like this, it means they will probably play again. They will play tomorrow, or at least next week, 7 days from now. They're guaranteed one more game, and that is what the whole regular season is about, getting that next game, getting that Week 10. So right now, for the Mason guys, they need to come in here, take care of business, and make sure that they stay calm, knowing that it is senior night and maybe their last time playing on this field. There's a lot of emotions. They have to keep calm, steady, and play the good football that they know they can against a very good, very, very good Fenton team.
Fenton comes in ranked number 4 in the coaches poll and playoff points. Mason's number 6 in the coaches poll, number 12 in playoff points. These teams won their respective leagues this year. Mason, CAAC Red champions. Fenton, Flint Metro champions. They met a year ago, and Mason won that one pretty handily, 49-20. I think we can expect a much closer game between two of the best teams in Division III. Mason's going to kick us off here in just a moment.
Yeah, and to give you a little preview with that, the one team that both of these teams have played, they both beat. It was the Hazlitt Vikings that both teams share in this. Mason won that game 30-24 versus Hazlitt, and Fenton won their game 21-14 versus Hazlitt.
So if that gives you any indication, we should have a good one on our hands tonight as we close out the regular season live from Mason High School. Mason will kick off left to right across your radio. Blue helmets, blue shirts, red pants for the Bulldogs. For the Fenton Tigers, black helmets, white shirts, and orange pants receiving to our right in the south end zone. Colin Winters sends it on its way, and we are underway. Return from the 5 up over the 20 over the right side to the 28-yard line goes Evan Crane. And that is where the Tigers will start at their own 28-yard line. And you can't talk about this Fenton offense without starting with Noah Shield. Starting quarterback and his brother Rory wearing number 14. That's the connection that makes this Fenton offense really tick. One of the best offenses in Division III.
Yeah, it is. In talking about those guys, Noah Shield and Rory Shield both went all league amongst several of their teammates. There is a lot of talent on this team, and they're expecting to bring the pounding to Mason through the air attack.
They're going to open in a 4-receiver set with Noah Shield in the gun. They're going to motion someone in the backfield. Now it's going to bounce off the motion man. It's loose on the ground. And it looks like the Tigers have recovered at their own 25-yard line. Noah Shield getting sacked on the play. But, man, Tigers dodging an early bullet.
Yeah, it's a great job from Shield to, recover his own fumble after the snap bounced off his face mask. It's a good job for the Tigers to recover and give themselves a little hope on the 2nd and 12 to come up here.
Ball in the 25, line to gain is the 38-yard line. Shields in the shotgun, 4 receivers, takes the snap. Looking quick throw right side, got a man up over the 30, lowering the shoulder and out of bounds at the 34-yard line is Landon Becker. Another one of those first-team all-league guys. They stopped him at the 33-yard line, call it a gain of 8. It'll bring up 3rd down for the Tigers. They're going to spot him back at the 31-yard line, excuse me. So a generous spot for the Bulldogs defense. They'll try to get off the field here. 7 yards between the Fenton offense and the sticks. 4 receivers, 2 once again for Shield in the shotgun, takes the snap. Quarterback draw up the middle, going to get hit and stuffed at the 35-yard line, falls ahead to the 37, but he's going to be a yard and a half short of the line to gain. And we'll see if the Tigers decide to go for it in their own territory on this first possession.
I mean, that's a great job there from Noah Shield, though. He fell forward about another yard and a half, so it could have been a 4th and 3. Instead of it's about a 4th and 1.5.
Offense still out there. 4 receivers for Shield. Mason's got 6 guys up on the line. Quick pass, right side, caught by Rory. He's going to try to get the first down, and he will. Sam Corey lowering the boom at the 40, but it's too late. A gain of 4 and a first down. Rory Shield, we were just talking about him. The brothers connect, and it's first down for Fenton. They get a big 4th down conversion on this first drive of the game. 10:35 to go first quarter. Tigers will scrimmage from the 40. Motion man is Rory. Noah takes the shotgun snap over the 40 to the 41-yard line. Not much room for him. It'll bring up 2nd down and 9 as we approach the 10-minute mark.
A lot of hype out of the Mason front 7, excuse me. Noah Klein, the first one to get there. Owen Attaway also helped wrap up that tackle for a gain of 1.
Under 10 to go first quarter. No score. 2nd down and 9 at the 41-yard line. Shield takes the snap, and we got a whistle and a flag, and there were a couple of guys in the neutral zone. We'll see who moved first. It will be false start on the Tigers. And that'll make it 2nd down and 14. Line to gain is midfield. They'll scrimmage from their own 36. Mason, 4 down linemen. 2 safeties over the top. Shield, quick throw right side. Got Rory over the 40 to the 42-yard line. That's a gain of 7. They've already completed a couple of passes to him. That'll bring up 3rd down and much more manageable.
Gain of 7.
.908 and counting, first quarter. 2x2 in the shotgun for Shield. Takes the snap. Has time. Deep ball down the seam. Got him. First down and a lot more deep into Mason territory over the 20. Inside the 10. Wrestling him down at the 8-yard line. That's Landon Becker. And the football came out. The football came out. They were able
Mason's
to strip
got
him.
it.
And Mason's got it at the 9-yard line. Landon Becker kept pushing. The defender able to get in there and rip the ball loose. Hayden Hendrickson stripped him, fell on the football, and the Mason Bulldogs get a huge stop.
That's just a heck of a play from Hendrickson. He ran, caught back up with him, put both hands on the ball, didn't even try to go for the tackle, and used all of his force to pull that ball out, get that turnover for the Bulldogs, and get them back on the offensive side of the ball.
What a stop for the Mason Bulldogs, and they'll start at their own 9-yard line. 3 receivers for Carswell in the shotgun. He'll give around the right side up over the 10 down to the 15-yard line. Gavin Van Kirk on the carry. As the season has gone on, he has gotten more and more carries. But that's not surprising. This Mason team, they love diversifying their offense, getting the ball to a bunch of different guys.
Yeah, and GVK is one of those guys that you can count on to get big plays in tight situations, and that's a heck of a gain for a gain of 7 on that first down.
3 receivers out of the gun. Carswell play action, quick throw right side. Sam Corey over the 25 to the 26-yard line. Brought down there after a gain of 10. It'll be first down. I'd like to thank our community sponsor for tonight's game, the Robert Downing Group of Keller Williams Realty. Robert Downing Group of Keller Williams Realty spends a lot of time working in different communities, but the message is always the same. The housing market is complicated, hot, and complex. So what can you do? Work with a real estate professional who's patient, understanding, and dedicated to working with you, not through you. That's Robert Dowding at Keller Williams Realty. Handoff left side. Gavin Van Kirk over the 30, 35-yard line. Still pushing the pile over the 40 down to the 42. Still pushing the pile to the 43-yard line. That is GVK for you. First down for Mason. So if you're buying, selling, or unsure of what to do next, the Robert Downing Group will take the time to help you achieve your next step. Find them on Facebook at the Robert Downing Group. 517-853-6390. That's 517-853-6390. 7.5 to go first quarter. For those of you just joining us, Fenton received the opening kickoff, went down the field, deep ball to Landon Becker, but inside the 10-yard line, Hayden Hendrickson stripped it loose and fell on it. And now the Bulldogs have the football. Handoff, right side, Carson Chapin lowers the boom at the 45-yard line. He gets boomed right back where he came from, gain of 3.
You know, one thing the Mason coaches might be looking at is saying, you know, it's kind of a faraway drive for the Fenton Tigers to get here. It's about an hour and 10 minutes by car from here to Fenton. And so bus legs is a really real thing. Maybe they're saying they're going to try to beat them on the ground early, get their players lulled into the run game while they have superior warmed-up legs, and then maybe open up the air attack into the second half.
A strong eye with an extra fullback for Mason. Haven't seen this look from them before. Handoff right side. Bouncing outside through the hole over midfield down to the 48-yard line is Hendrickson. Gain of 6 on the run. Let's meet the Bulldogs' starting offense. On the offensive line, Jared Klein, Isaac Braxton, Zeb James, Joe Price, and Rory Wendt. The quarterback is Kason Carswell. The running back, Gavin Van Kirk. And the receivers, Hayden Hendrickson, Luke Goss, Frankie Trigo, and Sam Corey. And you're going to hear even more names than that as this game progresses. 3rd and 1, another heavy eye set. Handoff right up the gut, and met and dropped in the hole. That's a big hit out there. Number 33, Bennett Gudith getting into the backfield. Loss of 1 for Hendrickson, and now it's decision time for Mason with 6:01 to go.
Mason football, 4th down, 1.
I love how Bennett Judith's playing so far in this game. Every time there's been an outside handoff away from him, he has given contact to Carswell in the gun, just giving him a little something to think about every time.
They're staying on the field, the offense. They're going to motion into a heavy set, Wildcat set. The snap to Troy Peters, running right, got the first down and more inside the 40. Stiff arm down to the 30 and down to the 28-yard line. That's Wyatt Ball, excuse me. Gain of 21. And that's just Mason football for you. They show a bunch of different looks, a bunch of different sets. They're going to keep you on your toes because they've got 12 guys in this offense that they trust the football with.
Yeah, and that's a great job from Chaz Weddle. He is playing the deep safety for the Tigers defense. He's about 12 yards off the line of scrimmage, and he did a great job crossing the field and bringing down Ball after that big gain.
Kason Carswell in the shotgun, 5 receivers now. Again, this is what Mason does. They'll go from heavy run to a pass formation. They'll throw quick left side. Hendrickson on a screen inside the 20, bounces it outside to the 15-yard line. That's a pickup of 13 on the play. Bulldogs featuring Hendrickson a lot on this drive, and now they're in the red zone, under 5 to go in the first.
Clinical so far, Colton. This is clinical offense from the Bulldogs.
Carswell gets his call from the sideline. They're going to send Hendrickson off and bring on Carson Chapin into the backfield. Trip set to the right. Fenton showing blitz. They only rush 4. Carswell rolls to the strong side, looking, throws, got a man at the 5-yard line. Did he haul it in? He did not. Incomplete. Intended for Frankie Trigo. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 ball on the 14-yard line.
Whenever you see Chapin come in for this Mason offense later in the game, the things that you should immediately think are power run or that exact same play that we saw, that boot play, because he's the lead blocker for Carswell to give him a clean pocket, moving pocket, I should say.
They're going to motion out of an I formation and into back into a different I formation. Heavy set, 1 receiver. It's a toss right side. Hendrickson trying to find the corner. He will not find the corner. He's shut down at the 23-yard line. Good work there by Landon Becker coming up and making the tackle at the 13. That's a gain of 1.
Yeah, and again, there's Bennett Judith there getting across the whole formation past 11 guys and also getting in there right at the end of that tackle.
3rd and 9, ball on the 13-yard line. They are in Colin Winter's range. The wind is blowing towards the far side of the field on your screen, right to left from the Bulldogs' perspective. Carswell in the shotgun, takes a snap, option pitch to the left, looking for Van Kirk inside the 10, and he'll be dropped at the 9-yard line. We'll see what they decide to do here after a gain of 4. It'll be 4th down at about 5. You're in field goal range. But you're also on the doorstep here, and leaving the Tigers back here inside their own 10 wouldn't be such a bad thing if you don't get this.
Yeah, they're going for it.
They're bringing on Wyatt Ball and Troy Peters, 2 guys they love to use in different looks. Both of them get snaps in Wildcat formations. They like to bring them around into the backfield on sweep runs. It's a 5-receiver set for Carswell by himself in the shotgun. 3 receivers to the right. 3 down linemen for the Tigers. Carswell takes the snap. They rush 3. Quick throw left side. It is incomplete, and that is elite coverage out there by Weston Jones in single coverage on the far side of the field. Frankie Trigo, the intended target. Kason Carswell was looking for the quick out. He saw the single coverage. He wanted it, and Trigo wasn't not open, but Weston Jones closed it down really nicely, made a play on the ball, and it's a 4th down stop for this Fenton defense. So the Bulldogs go from their own 9 to the Fenton 9, but get no points out of it. Under 3 to go in the first quarter. Lansing TV 12 coverage, Fenton versus Mason. 4-receiver set for Shield in the shotgun, takes the snap. Lots of time, stepping up, under pressure now. Sam Corey's going to hit him and drag him down back at the 6 with some help from his friends. A loss of 3 and the 2nd sack of the game for this Bulldogs defense.
Sam Corey and Owen Attaway with the stop for the
Owen Attaway getting in there as well.
Fenton football.
And they'll start back at their own 7 on this 2nd and 12. Starting offense for the Fenton Tigers on the offensive line. Chris Dobeck, Jordan Brown, Cooper Ford, Hunter Anderson, and Tommy Chanter. Quarterback is Noah Scheel. Running back, running back Evan Crane. They're going to hand it off right side. This time it's going to be Trent Boucha bouncing it outside inside the 10 down to the 12-yard line. Be a gain of 5 on the play. So, back to the starting lineup. Evan Crane, Landon Becker, Cooper Steems, Rory Steele, and Trent Boucha, the backs and receivers for the Tigers. They're going to move those guys around in the formation as well. Minute and a half to go in the first. 4 receivers set. First quarter moving. Hundreds of Michigan-themed gifts and offering many services including screen printing, laser etching, photography, web development, and branding. From up north to downriver Main Street to Motown, you'll find something for everyone at the Studio Shop in Williamston. Williamston, another game we're keeping a close eye on tonight. They're taking on Goodrich. It'll be a tough ask for them. We're going to send it over to commercial break. You're watching LansingTV12.com.
Hey, folks, just a technical interruption here. We're having problems with our scoreboard software right now, so I might have to shut that down on the screen, but that's outside of my control. I'll see if I can do with it. Sorry we went black there for a hot minute. I thought I could get it going, but I'm going to turn it back to the guys. Just want to let you know what was going on.
Appreciate it, Glenn. Glenn on the ones and twos. Glenn Dudasik, our producer and chief meteorologist.
Sometimes field reporter.
And sometimes field reporter. He was in Williamston last night.
We have a meteorology report. He reports windy.
Ball's on the tee for Colin Winters. He'll send it away. Good kick with the wind slightly at his back. Returned from the 2-yard line. Up over the 20, angling to his left is Crane up to the 26-yard line. And that is where the Tigers will start their third drive of the evening. Tigers' offense has sputtered a little bit. Back-to-back turnovers. They had the one big play that ended in a turnover, but they've been stuck in third down situations 3 times already.
Yeah, I mean, this Mason defense is, let's just say, scary. They are dominating in the CAC Red. They don't really like to let up points, and, you know, they limit a lot of run game stuff, and so far that's what Fenton's been trying to do, but Fenton's looked to their counter game in a lot of wide zone early. So I think Mason's just really scared them out of inside zone so far.
4 receivers set for the Tigers. Noah Scheel takes the snap. Delayed handoff up the middle. Up to the 28-yard line. Gain of a couple for Trent Boucha. That'll bring up 2nd down and 8. That was Cruz Gomez on the carry. My mistake. Less than a minute to go in the first. 7-0 Mason off the pick 6 by Hayden Hendrickson. On a windy night here in Mason. 4 receivers. Another handoff up the middle out of the shotgun. They'll get to the 31 this time. Once again, Cruz Gomez on the carry. Gomez, an all-league linebacker for this Tigers squad. Gets reps at running back along with Trent Boucha.
mean, Colton, you have to wonder how much the weather's really playing into this offense. They do have several all-league receivers, and they really, besides the one big play, they had a 5-yard hitch and a couple other short routes. They really haven't tried to air out the ball much so far. And you have to really wonder if the wind's playing a factor into that.
And the one time they did, it resulted in a turnover. End of one here in Mason. Mason 7, Fenton 0. You're watching LansingTV12.com. Located in downtown Mason, Keen's Store Company is the store with just a little bit of everything. From fine clothing and quirky candies, Keen's is meant to feel comfortable, friendly, and down home. Open 7 days a week, it's a perfect getaway when needing a bit of me-time retail therapy. With great customer service and an unparalleled attention to detail, Keen's is where you need to be when you want to be you again. I want to apologize again for any technical difficulties. We're on the roof tonight, and it's a little chilly and a little windy out here. So if the microphones sound a little huffy, or if we have occasional issues with the camera or the score bug, we apologize for those. Live TV is hard, folks. We got a lot of things going on up here. It's a 3-man crew here. Glenn Dudasek on the 1s and 2s, Tom Lewandowski next to me, and I'm Colton Wesley. We're very grateful that you have chosen to spend your Friday night with us, whether you're from Mason or Fenton. Fenton will start from their own 31 to start this second quarter, facing 3rd and 5.
Colton, you know those weather rocks that you can find on golf courses where it's got the rock on a chain and it says, if wet, it's raining? I kind of feel like that's how we are right now, where it's cold and windy.
4 receivers set. Quick throw left side. It's caught up at the 40-yard line for a first down. That's a gain of 9. Cooper Steens on the reception. He got hit so quickly on that play. Mason sent the house, and they got there, but not before Noah Shield was able to get rid of it, and they were able to get a first down out of it. You see a lot of similarities between these Tigers and Bulldogs offenses. A lot of quick routes, a lot of 4 receiver sets, a lot of trying to get guys open in space, trying to isolate guys in single coverage. You're going to see a lot of that tonight from both of these offenses. They have very skilled playmakers. That's what they've based this offense around, both of these teams. Delayed handoff on the jet sweep. Trying to work it outside is Crane to the 42-yard line. He'll get a couple. 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, as you were saying, that's really how good high schools work nowadays. All of the best high schools that you'll see. DeWitt does this in other CAAC terms, but look at classic Martin Luther King teams that we've seen over the years playing this Mason team in other CAAC Red. That's how St. John's and Hazlitt do so well. If you're a good high school team, your coaching staff is always going to try to put the ball into your playmakers' hands.
4 down linemen for Mason. They're going to send 4. Shield takes the snap. Under pressure. Throws deep right side. It's coming wide open. It's caught up at the 35-yard line. Tackle made right there by Caleb Vaughn. But Rory Shield was wide open at the 35-yard line. And the brothers connect once more. Gain of 22.
Yeah, talking about the weather earlier, I don't think it makes a difference now. I was saying that Fenton really hadn't opened up their passing game. They have proven me wrong twice so far on their first drive of the second quarter.
11 minutes to go, second quarter. Ball on the 34-yard line. Trip set to the left for the Tigers in the shotgun. With Gomez next to Noah Shield. Shield takes the snap. Fakes the give, keeps it himself. He's going to be wrapped up and dropped. Getting in there first is Joey Child. And Joey Child isn't a name that we have said as often as the stats indicate that you would. He leads this team in tackles. That's his 75th tackle of the season.
Wow, that's impressive. And, Child did a great job there, forcing Shield to pull the handoff. He stayed really big, really wide, couldn't give Shield a good read on what to do, and so Shield did the smart and safer thing, which his coaches tell him to do. If he can't make that good, clean decision, pull the ball and just try to get back to the line.
2nd and 12 at the 36. Rush comes, throws deep left side, wants Crane. It is caught up at the 11. No, he wasn't. He couldn't haul it in. That's elite. Defending again this time. It's Troy Peters in single coverage. They sent Evan Crane out deep on that fly route on the far side of the field. Rolling to his left was Noah Shield, threw it all the way across his body. It was honestly an excellent throw, but Troy Peters able to get in there and break it up. It was in Evan Crane's hands, but Troy Peters stayed with the play, knocked it free. It's 3rd down.
Honestly, I think Crane dropped that ball more than Troy Peters made that play. I think the ball came out off contact with the ground. That would have been a heck of a play from Evan Crane.
3rd and 12 once again. 4-receiver set. Pressure comes. Deep ball down the seam, and he overthrew him. Wanted Rory Shield down near the goal line. Coverage once again by Troy Peters, and now it's 4th and 11 at the 36-yard line. And this is one of the hardest spots to make a fourth down decision in high school sports because you're in opposing territory, but it is 4th and long. So the temptation is to go for it because you feel like, you've gotten this far, you have an opportunity to score if you pick it up, and the consequences aren't as bad if you don't get it. But at the same time, you could potentially pin a team back inside the 5. It's a lot of yardage to pick up in this situation. Offense stays on the field. It's going to be a 4-receiver set, trip set to the right on the tight side of the field. They're on the right hash. In the shotgun. Takes the snap. Shield trying to set up a screen over the middle. It's caught. Heading upfield is Gomez. Gomez has room and a first down and more inside the 20, down to the 18-yard line. The screen works perfectly. Mason doesn't diagnose it. Everyone gets into the backfield. The offensive line gets into position. It's too easy, and a pitch and catch for 18 yards and a first down for Fenton.
Well, that happened with the front 7, but the Tigers also tricked the secondary there. They ran a fake bubble screen on the right side of the action, the trip side. They ran a bubble screen to the field, which bought the field side safety to come over. So that was just a great play design from the Tigers.
Quick throw left side, caught up over the 15 and muscling his way down to the 12 is Cooper Steves. But yeah, no, that was excellent play design from Jeff Stetsky on that 4th down conversion. Pickup of 7 for Steves. 2nd down and 3, 9 minutes to go. They're getting up to the line quickly now. 4-receiver set, quarterback draw for Shield. He's going to get close to the line to gain, be pushed back by the Bulldogs. We'll see where they spot him. Shield getting the stop. And they are going to mark him inches shy. So Shield picks up about 3. He needed 3.5, and now 3rd down and maybe 6 inches to that first down marker. Four receivers, shotgun. They've got Boucha in the backfield. Throws right side, wide open, but he missed him, incomplete. Landon Becker was wide open for Noah Shield. Off the play action, he came free deep in the far corner, and he overthrew him, incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down and inches.
I mean,
it makes sense to do that in a situation like this. It's the same logic that influences a 2nd and 1 deep ball, right? You've got opportunities, you've got more snaps to try to pick up the first down later on. Fenton decides to take their shot on 3rd down and inches. It'll bring up 4th and inches, ball on the 9-yard line. Timeout called by the Tigers. They're going to think about it. And we're going to send it over to a commercial break. You're watching LansingTV12.com.
I'm Robert Dowding, associate broker and owner of the Robert Dowding Group at Keller Williams Realty. Originally from Eaton Rapids, my family and I now call Mason our home. On your next real estate transaction, put our over 30 years of experience and market knowledge to work for you. Call myself or Danielle French at the Robert Dowding Group today. We are your Mason hometown realtors.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the diamond.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends. Yeah! Be great.
4 receiver set, 4th and inches. Ball on the 9-yard line. Shield in the gun. Calling something out though. He's going to sneak up under center. He's going to try to get him to jump. There's a lot of motion. The ball got snapped and he couldn't haul it in. And the ball's loose on the ground at the 9. Who's got it? Mason came away with it. Another turnover inside the 10-yard line for the Tigers.
Logan Dorr hyping up the crowd as he always does. Wow, what a good job from the Bulldog defense.
3 drives, 3 turnovers for the Fenton Tigers. And the Mason Bulldogs will take over at their own 9-yard line. Impressive stuff from this Mason defense. Logan Dorr comes away with it off the bobble on the snap. And that's not what you expect out of this Fenton team. They've made a couple of their own mistakes, and Mason has made them pay for them. 3 receivers for Carswell. 1st and 10 out of the shotgun. Motion man is Sam Corey. They're going to give left side up over the 10. Over the 15, still running is Dom Rodriguez, and he's going to get 13 yards and a first down. Dom Rodriguez, yet another guy that they just love to get involved. Can't stop everybody.
I mean, DeWitt found a way to. There's a way. It's just you have to be an elite level team. So I'd expect this game to be eventually that good. This is going to be a heck of a game going into the second half.
7:35 to go second quarter. 3 receiver set for Carswell. Takes the snap. Handoff right up the middle. Not as much room this time, but still a nice gain for Rodriguez. Gain of 4. That'll bring up second down and 6. Let's meet the Tigers' starting defense. On the defensive line in a 3-4, Cameron Sheneman, Cole Galtney, and Chris Dolek. Middle linebackers are Evan Crane and Cruz Gomez. Outside linebackers, Sutton Miller and Bennett Judith. Landon Becker, Braden Weisbarth in the defensive backfield, along with Weston Jones and Chaz Weddle. 3 receivers again. Give on the jet sweep, and there was no room back at the 19-yard line. Wyatt Ball brought down by Cameron Sheneman, first-team all-league defensive lineman for this Tigers squad. So loss of 6 on the play. That'll back him up to 3rd down and about 12. Ball picked up 21 yards out of the Wildcat in the first quarter. That time they try to get it to him on a jet sweep out of the slot, and it goes for nothing. So 3rd and 12 coming up. Tigers defense trying to keep this a 1-score game. 5 receiver set for Carswell. 3 down linemen for the Tigers. They rush 3. Carswell stepping up in the pocket. Rolls to his right. Looking downfield. Standing. Throwing. Open. Up over the 25. Frankie Trigo. Up over the 40. Down to the 48-yard line. Gain of 29 yards and a first down. You can't give him that much time. That is the challenge of playing against this Bulldogs team. You want to cover all these playmakers, you drop 8 into coverage. You drop 8 into coverage, you don't get a pass rush against this good offensive line, and Kason Carswell is going to pick you apart if you give him 7, 8, 9 seconds to make a play in the pocket.
The thing is, they did give a rush, and Carswell did a brilliant job finding the gap in the B gap, stepping up, finding space, and throwing under pressure. They sent a backer right at the back end there. He threw that through contact to get that huge gain. What a play from Carswell.
3 receiver set, low snap to Carswell, able to scoop it up off the turf and hand it off, but getting wrapped up and thrown to the ground back at the 43 is Gavin Van Kirk. That's a loss of 4. Tigers have done a good job stopping the runs between the tackles for Mason so far. Mason not getting a lot of penetration when they try to go to the ground, doing a much better job in pass protection right now.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, I think that's honestly just due to the talent of Carswell. And, I mean, there's a clear reason why he's been recruited so high.
He'll be playing in Western Illinois next season. Play action, Carswell throws into the zone gap at the 49-yard line. Luke Goss on the reception. Gain of 6. And that's a quick read from Carswell. Tigers drop off into a soft zone. They're not in man-to-man on that snap. Carswell identifies it very quickly, and that's a sign of good film study, right? You see what they do when they drop off into zone coverage. You know where those holes in the zone are going to be, and he finds them, gets it to Goss. It's now 3rd down and much more manageable. 3rd and 10 at the 48-yard line. 3 receivers, 2 set to the tight side of the field. They got a tight end out there as well, and now they're going to motion Goss to the right side of the formation, getting a call from the sideline. Now Goss will go into the slot on the right side. Carswell takes the snap, play action, stepping up, has time, throws. It is incomplete. That is great coverage out there on the near sideline. Weston Jones on the coverage. Troy Peters the intended target. That's just good play there from Weston Jones. Done that a couple of times tonight. Now it's 4th and 10, and Mason's going to send out the punt unit.
mean, who knows who's punting anymore? If you watch the Lions game last week, they went for a fake punt on 4th and 7, so you never know, especially since Casey Carswell does kick the ball here.
4:01 to go, second quarter. Carswell standing on his own 39. Puts his foot into it, end over end. It'll hit and take a good Mason bounce inside the 15, down to the 10-yard line. Casey Carswell, 43-yard punt, no return. 3:50 to go, second quarter. You're watching Mason and Fenton on LansingTV12.com. Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. Fenton Tigers. They've been able to move the football. They've turned it over inside the 10-yard line twice. Rolling to his right. Deep ball down the seam. Got a man, and he missed him incomplete. Overthrew Landon Becker. And this is something that you pointed out to me, Tom, when we were on a break. Mason's running a lot of cover zero. They are not leaving safeties deep to help protect against that deep ball. They're trying to get pressure in there and force errant throws from Noah Scheel. They saw something on tape about how Scheel responds to pressure. They think they can take advantage of it, and so far it's working out for them.
Yeah, they have to realize they're being a little lucky, though. Scheel's been off on 2 or 3 touchdown shots, and one of those turnovers is one of those touchdown shots getting ripped out on about the 7-yard line. So Mason has to recognize they're kind of getting lucky in the secondary in just overshooting receivers by about a yard or two. Can't keep doing it.
We'll come back to that 4-receiver set. Handoff out of the shotgun. Cutting it up is Boucha to the 12-yard line. He'll be hit and dropped there. Call it a gain of maybe 3. But getting back to that point, so one of the things that the Bulldogs probably saw on film was that if you get pressure into the face of Noah Scheel, he will sail those deep balls. So you feel like you can afford to send that pressure, and that's why you're sending that pressure, right? Because you think if you get the pressure on him, he's going to miss those throws. That's the object for Mason. It's not a bug, it's a feature in the Mason scheme tonight, from my perspective.
Terrifying feature. I know it's almost Halloween, but still.
4-receiver set. Scheel tying his shoe. Now he's up. 3 minutes to go, second quarter. Takes the snap. Mason rushing 5 against Scheel. Under pressure. Stepping up. Going to take off with it. Tried to step outside, and he's dropped at the 16-yard line.
They had Landon Becker on another touchdown shot there. Oh, the Bulldogs really have to cover him. That's, again, if Scheel can get that pass off, that's another 7 points they would be giving up. I know the score's 7-0, but that's got to be scary if you're a Bulldogs fan.
On third down, though, they rushed 6, and they got there effectively. They forced him up out of the pocket. They didn't give him an opportunity to throw that deep ball. If you don't give him a chance to throw it, it doesn't matter if he's open. 2:20 to go, and the punt team is on for the Tigers for the first time tonight. End-over-end kick will be fielded at the 46-yard line. Up into Tiger territory, bouncing it outside. Wyatt Ball looking for the corner, staying on his feet over the 40, over the 35, down to the 31-yard line. 33-yard punt for Keegan McCardle, but a great return. And now the Bulldogs will start on the Fenton 31-yard line after a good stand by the defense. 2:04 to go. They've got all 3 of their timeouts, so plenty of time to punch this in before halftime. The shortest field they've seen today. No offensive scores in this game. The only touchdown, Hayden Hendrickson's pick 6. That's the reason that the Bulldogs lead 7-0 here as we wind this second quarter down.
Defense wins championships. Some people say people that play offense are weird. I'm not one of them, but I could be. I never played offense. I was a defensive guy. Come on.
4-receiver set, trips to the left for Carswell. Takes the snap. Tigers rush 4. Quick throw left side, trying to set something up in the field for Troy Peters. He's going to keep the legs moving over the 30, down to the 27. Now the pile is going to push him to the 26. They'll finally stop the play. It's a gain of 5. Troy Peters should have gotten maybe a yard or 2 on that play, but he kept the legs moving. One guy got a hold of his jersey. He shook free of him, kept pushing, and then the pile jumped in and kept him going for an extra yard.
Yeah, 2 Fenton players I saw just tried to shoulder tackle him, just hit him as hard as he could. He bounced off, and no one wrapped him up. No one tried to, actually tackle him. They just hit him, and he kept running through it.
There's a reason they love to use him in Wildcat sets, because he can shed blockers in the open field. He's a tough runner. Another heavy I formation with an extra fullback this time for the Bulldogs. Handoff left side. Flag comes flying inside the 20, down the sideline to the 10. Hayden Henderson cuts it back, beats 2 men down to the 1-yard line. He's just shy of the goal line, but the flag came out way at the beginning of that play, and that's usually holding. Looks like they're walking it back. It'd be the first penalty of the game on the Bulldogs. Only other penalty called so far was a false start on Fenton back in the first quarter. It's been a clean half. It's been a fast half. As the wind continues to pick up, we got 1:10 left in the second quarter. Let's see where they end up spotting this football. Play started at the 26. And it's actually going to be a procedure penalty. And that's even more frustrating if you're Gary Houghton, because that play works to perfection. You got Hendrickson down to the 1-yard line on that scamper, but instead you get backed up because of an illegal formation.
The wind just kicked up another notch here, and it changed directions. It is now going straight north-south in favor of the Tigers in this current position.
Yep.
It's going to be probably take away 5-10 yards from Colin Winters' kick range.
Clock inside of a minute, and it's rolling here for the Bulldogs. Now it's down to 50 seconds. Carswell looking at his sideline, and Mason going to take a timeout, but not until about 20 seconds elapsed between the ready for play symbol and the timeout. So Mason will have the football at the 31-yard line, looking at 2nd down and 10. And to your point, you're right. They're kicking into a stiff wind if they do end up settling for a field goal. We've seen Colin Winters get a little bit of extra oomph on his kickoffs so far in this first half, kicking with what was at the time a pretty light breeze. Now the breeze has definitely picked up. It's much stronger, especially when you're up in the air, and that's how it affects balls in flight.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you're going to kick a ball and it's going to be rotating end over end into a breeze that's, 20, 30 yards in the air, that's a much more noticeable effect on the flight of a football than what the wind speed is like down at the playing field.
Yeah, it's about 10-mile-an-hour winds right here, gusting up to 20 right now, and I'd say it's closer to that gusting range of 20 as it feels right now. That's also got to play a factor for how Kason Carswell throws the ball, going straight into a 10 to 20-mile-an-hour wind.
4 receivers set for Carswell in the shotgun. Takes the snap, play action. Carswell stepping up, throws over the middle, got a man. It's complete, up over the 20, down to the 15-yard line. It's a first down and a gain of 15 yards. Sam Corey, his second reception of the game, and that puts the Bulldogs into the red zone. They're going to wind the clock with 40 seconds to go in the half. Mason still with 2 timeouts. 4 receivers for Carswell, 2 by 2. 30 seconds, still awaiting the snap. Carswell takes it. They rush 3. Carswell stepping up, throws left side, got a man inside the 10 down to the 8-yard line, and he caught it. And timeout's going to be called, I believe. Luke Goss makes the catch, gain of 7 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 3 at the 8-yard line. 19 seconds on the clock. And timeout's going to be called by Carswell and company. Don't forget to join us for halftime, brought to you by the Robert Downing Group of Keller Williams Realty. We'll try to get you some scores from around the area as well. Lots of games with playoff implications taking place as we speak. We'll see what's going on with Williamston as they take on a Division IV powerhouse in Goodrich, East Lansing, and Holt. Holt trying to get into the field of 32. East Lansing trying to shore up a home game. Guamo Westphalia, Lansing Catholic, both in the playoffs for their respective divisions. In a big game for both of those teams. Hazlitt on the road against Jackson, who's trying to make sure that they get into the playoff field. Hazlitt trying to make sure that they punch their ticket as well. They put a couple seconds back on the clock, so 22 seconds on the game clock now. 1 timeout left for the Bulldogs. Ball on the 8-yard line, 2nd and 3, 4 receivers set for Carswell. Referee blows his whistle. Carswell takes the snap. Stepping up, gonna run. Out to his left and out of bounds at the 7-yard line. Picks up maybe a yard or two. And that is a quick check out for Carswell. He didn't see what he wanted, runs to the sideline, lives to fight another down. It'll be 3rd down, maybe a yard. I imagine that the Bulldogs would be at least satisfied with 3 points on this drive, going up 2 scores, especially because they're going to receive the second half kickoff. But if you can punch this in, you want to do everything you can to do so.
I wonder if that's going to play any decision-making into this play, like if they have someone specifically going to take just a little hitch route right in the middle of the field.
5 receivers, Carswell, play action on the sweep, stepping up, got him in wide open in the flat, it's going to be a touchdown! Hayden Hendrickson's in again! Hayden Hendrickson having the game of his life. And the Bulldogs go up 13-0 with 10 seconds left in the half. Hayden Hendrickson, a forced fumble, a fumble recovery, a pick 6, and now a receiving touchdown. Tip of the hat to him. That's one of the best halves you'll see out of a single player in high school football. Colin Winters on to try the PAT, try to make it a 14-point game. Snap good, spot down, kick on the way. It's no problem.
Yes, the extra point is good.
So Colin Winters 2 for 2, and the Bulldogs lead 14-0. 10 seconds to go in the first half. Once again, want to welcome you to our halftime show presented by the Robert Downing Group at Keller Williams Realty. That'll be in 10 seconds. Fenton does have 2 timeouts, but I imagine the most likely scenario is a squib kick, a short return, and a handoff to end the first half. Tigers offense, fumble, interception, fumble, punt. And that interception was returned for a touchdown. Hayden Hendrickson putting on a show. He's got an offensive score and a defensive score, doing his best Travis Hunter impression. And the Bulldogs lead by 14. Trying to secure a home game here next week for the playoffs. Winters has the ball on the tee. Kicking once again into that breeze this time. Excuse me, that's Jacob Ackley they've got out there kicking this one. Jacob Ackley, who usually kicks for the JV squad, just squibs it down the field. It'll be fielded at the 21. There's not a lot of room out there for Cruz Gomez. He'll get up to about the 30-yard line, and with 6 seconds to go, I imagine the Tigers will just hand this one off and settle for going into halftime, but you never know. Bulldogs defense have to be thrilled with their performance. 3 takeaways, 2 of which happened inside their own 10-yard line. Bend but don't break, and they've given up 0 points. 4 receivers set. It'll be a kneel down, and that will take us to the end of the first half. 24 minutes down, 24 to go, and the Bulldogs leading 14-0. We're going to send it over to Glenn Dudasek with the Robert Downing Group at Keller Williams Realty halftime. You're watching Mason football on LansingTV12.com.
All right, guys, it is blustery, but we are having fun up here. It's great pumpkin weather, no doubt about it. Mason, the hometown team, up 14-0 over the visiting Fenton Tigers. I'm Glenn Dudasek with Colton and Tom. What we're going to do, normally we would send this over to the MHSAA Robert Downing Group halftime show, but what we're going to do is we're going to try to let you guys listen in and watch the band. I can give you a couple of minutes. I can't give you the whole show, but to each their own. And we believe in the power of bringing people together, and we know that there's a whole bunch of folks who tune in just for the band. And I'm a big fan. We're a marching band family. I married it. But I'm going to let you listen in to the Mason Marching Band.
A casual stroll down New York's Broadway to treat the many roads. The bright lights, iconic sounds, and the dancing excitement coming from the theaters can spark a roller coaster of excitement and happiness. Tonight, we have 4 songs that will take you through that Broadway experience. Drum majors, is the band ready? Debuting in 1986 and having a 35-year run, Andrew Lloyd Webber's Phantom of the Opera has played in 35 countries, 160 cities, and been adapted into 15 languages. A brief snippet of the tragic story has been brought here today in the main theme, Phantom of the Opera. Keeping that Broadway feeling, Les Miserables is one of the longest-running productions in Broadway history. The first song is about heartbreak and the power of love and undying devotion.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the Mason Marching Band here at halftime. LansingTV12.com, game of the week between the Mason Bulldogs and visiting Fenton. Bulldogs are up 14-0. Enjoy the show. All right, folks, that's about as much as I can give you. The Mason Marching Band. I'm Glenn Dudasek. You're watching MHSAA High School Varsity Football on here, the Robert Dowding Group, Keller Williams Realty Show. Actually, I think I'm going to leave you here one more time. We'll push the limits. It'll work. It'll work. Enjoy the show.
The green-skinned witch of the West performs this signature song, Defying Gravity.
All right, guys, now I really got to get you over to the halftime show. Mason Marching Band, I'm a super fan. Well done, guys. All right, Robert Dowding Group, Keller Williams halftime show coming up next.
A record-shattering performance on the cross-country course in the UP, and a near miss at a record 4 straight individual golf titles. I'm John Ross, and this is This Week in High School Sports, powered by the Michigan Achievement Scholarship. A perfect weekend of weather for the MHSAA's Lower Peninsula Girls Golf Finals, and there were some standout performances to recap. In Division I, Northville cruised to its 5th team title in the last 8 years. The Mustangs finished 44 shots clear of second-place Caledonia. Okemos senior Elena Lee brought home medalist honors. In Division II, Farmington Hills Mercy won its 3rd straight title. Dexter was second. Dexter was led by junior Avery Manning, who shot a tourney-best 141 to capture medalist honors. In Division III, Grand Rapids Catholic Central repeats as team champions. The Cougars easily outpaced second-place Detroit Country Day. Lillian O'Grady of Grand Rapids Christian finished atop the individual leaderboard. And in Division IV, Kalamazoo Christian won its first ever girls golf championship. Traverse City St. Francis senior Grace Slocum earned medalist honors. Mia Melendez of Ann Arbor Green Hills was trying to become the first Lower Peninsula golfer to win 4 straight individual titles, but finishes 3rd after 3 straight state championships. For more on a great final weekend on the course, please check out MHSAA.com. It's time for Game Balls, when we highlight a trio of standout performances from the past week. Fowler running back Ford Phillips, 8 of his 14 carries were for touchdowns, and he ran for a total of 310 yards in a win over Langsburg. Frankenmuth Logan Diener, he scored the game-winning touchdown in a victory over Freeland. The win gives the Eagles 66 straight conference wins and a 13th straight Tri-Valley Conference title. And to Jackson Bagwell of Climax Scots, His touchdown run with a minute left propelled the Panthers over Mendon 46-44 in 8-player action.
Graduating seniors could qualify for a tuition-free skill certificate or associate degree through the new Community College Guarantee, no matter their GPA or your household income. Or if your child plans to attend a 4-year university or career school, the Michigan Achievement Scholarship Program has them covered. They could get up to $27,500 toward a bachelor's degree or up to $4,000 for career training. Complete the FAFSA to get started at mi.gov/achievement.
Our weekly Be the Referee feature takes a look at the fine art of officiating with registered official Paige Winnie.
We've got a volleyball question for you today. At the moment of the serve, which statement is not true? All players, including the libero, should be in the correct serving order. All players, including the libero, are not required to be in the correct serving order. No player other than the server may have any part of the body touching the floor outside of the boundary lines. All players except the server shall be within the team's playing court and boundary lines. If you said, all players including the libero are not required to be in the correct serving order, you are correct. At the moment of the serve, all players must be in the correct serving order, and only the server can be outside of the playing court and boundary lines.
Thanks, Paige. Now more than ever, we need officials. If you're interested, please go to the MHSAA website now to register. In the Upper Peninsula, the UP Cross Country Finals were held in Munising. On the girls' side, Trout Creek won its first ever title in Division III. In Division II, Hancock won for the 4th straight time, and Marquette won in Division I for the 3rd straight year. On the boys' side, Engadine won its very first cross-country championship in Division III. Painesdale Jeffers won a 4th straight title in Division II, and Marquette won a 6th straight team title in Division I. But the story of the day belonged to Sault Ste. Marie's Gabe Litzner. The junior turned in a UP Finals all-class division record, running the course in just under 15 minutes, 15 seconds, shattering the previous record by 35 seconds. That helped his team to a second-place finish in Division I. For more on all of the cross-country action north of the bridge, check out MHSAA.com. We'll have coverage of all 4 divisions of the tennis championships next week. You've been listening to This Week in High School Sports, powered by the Michigan Achievement Scholarship, a production of the MHSAA Network. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Ross. We'll be back next week.
How about that? See, we have all kinds of time for extra Mason Marching Band halftime show. All right, folks, you're watching on LansingTV12.com. What is LansingTV12.com? It is a place for us to put live games and some favorites. You know, we have a plan to bring in some local programming for local shows, you know, kind of the typical things that you see on other TV networks. But we believe in the power of free, and we believe in the power of simple. I know that TV's gotten noisy, it's gotten complicated, and we wanted to tone that down. And we had our flagship programming when the MHSAA opened up and allowed us to bring live sports to you on Friday nights. Game of the week for free was a big accomplishment, and I'm happy that the MHSAA allowed folks like us to come in and do it. Mason, you know, we love you guys. We've been with you for 7 years now. We were here when not a lot of folks were, and actually the entire broadcasting idea kicked off with the Mason Marching Band. I was sitting down, sideline reporter, just fiddling with Facebook Live one day a long time ago, and I'm like, I wonder. And I flipped it on, and immediately we got positive response back from people who, you know, reminisced, just members of the community remembered their time in the marching band. And I heard from some of the family members who had said, you know, I can't go to the game. I can't make it, or I've never seen my granddaughter perform before. And that's where this idea of, hey, there's a gap, and we can bring these games to you guys, whether it's on the radio or, goodness, now we're on TV, or what we call TV. But I'm very proud of that. I really, truly am. I'm glad, and I'm a Hazlitt guy, but Mason, you've been with me, and you've welcomed open arms to this Herald idea from the very beginning. So we're proud, and I know I keep saying that, but I truly am. There's no other word for it. So we got about 65 seconds left. We will archive these games. If you guys notice on the feed, you're going to see, if you scroll down on the page a little bit, you're going to see some of the games we've done. We do have a full slate coming up this winter. Hockey fans, where's my Cap City, folks? We'll have Cap City and Eastside games all season long, both on the radio and on TV 12. We'll have Mason basketball. I think we might have something very special brewing for Mason basketball fans. I can't reveal that yet, but know that we're working really hard to do something very special for the Mason community, not just for basketball, but moving forward. So stay tuned there. There's a teaser for you. And I kind of miss being in places like Bath and PW and Saranac, Ionia, Hazlitt, of course, home for me. So we're gonna kind of split this up a little bit if everything goes right. So follow us on our socials. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and Blue Sky. That's a new platform for us. We got kicked off of Twitter for some reason. I woke up one day and we just got kicked off. So there you go, modern days, I guess. But Blue Sky's really nice. If you like your simple and easy social media, there you go. All right, I got horns. I got 000s. I'm gonna hand it over back to Colton and Tom.
Hey, all, welcome back to Mason. Third quarter action about to get underway. The Mason Bulldogs leading the Fenton Tigers 14-0 at home in a clash between two teams ranked in the top 6 in the Division III coaches poll. Colton Wesley, Tom Lewandowski, Glenn Dudasek on the 1s and 2s. Fenton's going to kick this one off from right to left across your radio as we get this third quarter underway. Keegan McCardle, first team kicker and punter in the Flint Metro League, will send this one away for Fenton. I have a habit of saying across your radio. We do enough radio and TV. We just kind of go back and forth on it a little bit. But in any case, Mason will be defending the north end zone and moving with the wind in this third quarter. Although the wind has definitely died down a bit. McCardle chips this one in the air. It'll hit the ground at the 27 and roll out of bounds. So Mason will get to start with good field position at their own 35-yard line. Let's talk about some stats for the Mason offense. 157 total yards of offense, 62 in the air, 95 on the ground. 7 different Bulldogs carried the rock in the first half, led by Gavin Van Kirk's 22 yards on 4 carries. Through the air, Kason Carswell, 7 of 10 for 62 yards and a touchdown. Hayden Hendrickson, 2 catches for 20 yards and a score. Luke Goss and Sam Corey, both with a couple catches as well. But I think the breeze is affecting some of the play calling decisions. Both offenses maybe will try to keep it on the ground even more here in the second half. 3 receivers set for Carswell, and now they're going to motion out of it. It'll be the same formation. They're just going to move guys around. It'll be Frankie Trigo split to the left. Carswell rolls to his right, just hucks that one away. It was meant to be a designed run pretty clearly, but none of it came together, and he just throws it away in the vicinity of Wyatt Ball. 11:54 to go here in the third quarter, and we will welcome back Tom Lewandowski. Tom, Mason's up 14-0 for 2 reasons. 1, the defense got stops, and 2, on that last drive, the offense took advantage of the short field. And that's really it. The offense hasn't been clicking a ton. When we talk about Mason, we usually talk about this offense and all these playmakers and Kason Carswell. But the defense has really been the unit that has stepped up, especially guys like Hayden Hendrickson in the secondary. 4 receiver set, Carswell in the shotgun. Got 1 back next to him. Carswell, low snap, picks it up. Under pressure, steps up, throws deep down the middle. Wyatt Ball incomplete. He had him, missed him. Long by a half a step, and that'll bring up third down.
Yeah, and going back to the point that you were just making, you are right. The reason why Mason is up 14-0 is because of that defense, but they're also getting rather lucky on the defensive side of the ball. And I don't know if that's due to scheme or, just having the weather play action into that. But Fenton has had several touchdown shots barely miss because of the scheme Mason is using in the secondary.
Heavy I formation with that extra fullback. Carswell up under center. Talking to his backfield, trying to tell them where to go. Takes the snap, play action, throw on a slant. Sam Corey wide open, first down and a lot more into Fenton territory, down to the 45-yard line. That's a gain of 20. And that is a great look from Gary Houghton and this Bulldogs staff. They bring everybody into a heavy run set. They make them believe that they're going to run the football. They isolate Sam Corey on a slant route, and I don't know if there's a receiver in this area that you don't want to defend one-on-one in a slant pattern more than Sam Corey. A big body who runs good routes, gets his hands on the football, takes two guys to get him down in Fenton territory at the 45-yard line. Another heavy eye formation. This time they will hand it off, bouncing it outside. A lot of room for Hendrickson. First down and more over the 30 and bumped out of bounds at the 27-yard line. Gain of 18, and the Bulldogs offense is cooking.
With the carry, knocked out of bounds by number 21, Chaz Weddle.
They'll spot him up at the 26-yard line, call it a gain of 19 and a first down for the Bulldogs. 11-11 to go in the third. Bulldogs trying to go up by 3 scores. The offense only had 3 possessions. Turnover on downs in Fenton territory, and then a punt, and then a short touchdown drive to end the half. In that heavy set again, they're going to fake the give to one and give it to somebody else up over the 25 down to the 22-yard line. Gavin Van Kirk on the carry, and they might be calling a horse collar on this. That's what it looks like they threw the flag in response to. I don't know if that was a horse collar per se. He didn't drag him down by the collar, which is usually the call. No, it's going to be holding on Mason. And that will back him up to the 31-yard line. So it was down the field. It'll be a 5-yard penalty essentially for the hold. And they'll run this clock. 1st and 15 at the 31. Line to gain is up at the 26. Or the 16, rather, excuse me. Mason coming out in a heavy set once more. But they're going to split guys out into a 4-receiver set with a Wildcat in Wyatt Ball. And there was something that Gary Houghton didn't like, and they're going to take a timeout. So while we're on this break, let's talk about some scores from around the area. We'll start quick in the CMAC. Dansville leading Stockbridge 6-3 in the second quarter. Perry trailing Vassar 14-7. In CAAC ball, Sexton leads Eastern 36-0 in the third quarter. D3 number 1 DeWitt leading Everett 27-14 in the second quarter, and we expect nothing less than a high-scoring shootout between those two. Goodrich led Williamston 14-0 at the end of the first quarter. East Lansing 21-0 over Holt in the second. Pewamo Westphalia leading Lansing Catholic 14-13 late in the first half. Waverly leads Tecumseh 14-0. Grand Ledge on top of Okemos 22-3 in the second. Olivet leading Comstock Park 23-0. Division 4 number 9 Portland leads Division 4 number 20 Whitehall 21-0 in the second. And St. John's number 21 in Division 3 up 33-0 over Alpena in the second. Wyatt Ball caught it with a knee on the ground, and that's going to be a loss of 1.
Carswell's pass complete to number 10 Ball.
They use Wyatt Ball in a lot of ways. We talked about this ad nauseum, but Ball, they line him up in the backfield. They line him up in the slot. They use him as a wildcat. They throw screens to him. They throw down the field to him. Just another one of those dynamic Bulldogs weapons. Second down and 15 again. More like 16. Ball on the 32-yard line. 4-receiver set for Carswell. Chapin calling out the linebacker. Man in motion. They're going to fake the give to Hendrickson. Carswell stepping up. Deep ball. Wide open. Trigo. Touchdown! Frankie Trigo on the skinny post all the way home. And the Bulldogs are up by 20.
Mason touchdown. 32-yard pass from number 5, Jason Carswell, to number 4, Frankie.
It's a heck of a play there from the Bulldogs, finding the open Trigo on the seam, splitting the deep-high safeties, doing a great job.
Colin Winters to try to make it 21. And they're going to fake it around the right side, trying to dive for the sticks is Gavin Van Kirk. He did not get there.
Van Kirk's 2-point attempt is no good.
So that might explain some of why they've been running out of that set as much as they have. They split everybody out. Once again, the offensive line out to the right side, the outside blocker on the left. This time they direct snap it to Gavin Van Kirk. He tries to run around the right side around those blockers. He does not get in. It remains 20-0.
I'm really surprised they went for that here. In getting that on film, I'm really, really surprised they put that on film in Week 9.
I could see this being kind of a big brain thing from Gary Houghton and the staff, where they've got multiple plays that they run out of that formation. They wanted to put that one on film so that teams don't know about the good one. Because that was honestly a pretty simple design, pretty simple play. There wasn't a whole lot of complexity in that. I'm sure that there's something else in the playbook that maybe has a little more dynamism to it that they're thinking about pulling out if they need to in the playoffs. But in any case, in a 20-0 ball game, it's as safe of a chance to go for two as you're going to get this late in the season. They've had the beating of a good Fenton team so far. Jacob Hackley going to put this ball on the tee for Mason and kick it away. But the Bulldogs leading by 3 scores. And the offense with back-to-back touchdowns. Hackley puts his foot into it. That's a good, deep kick, and that's going to roll into the end zone for a touchback.
Winner's kick goes into the end zone for the touchback. Tiger football, 1st and 10 for their own 20-yard line.
And the Tigers will scrimmage from their own 20 after the touchback.
Excuse me, that was Ackley kicking the ball, not Winner.
So let's see what the Tigers offense can do. They had 4 drives in the first half, other than the kneel down to end the half. Fumble, interception, fumble, 3 and out. Just a rough go for this offense. And it's not for lack of making some plays. On 2 of those drives, they drove all the way down deep into Mason territory and then lost the ball inside the 10-yard line. The offense hasn't been inept, but it hasn't been able to finish with points, and that's it. They've still got that goose egg on the scoreboard. 4 receivers in the shotgun. Hand off up the right side. This is Trent Boucher out over the 25, and he'll be knocked out of bounds there after a pickup of 5.
Trent Boucher with the carry.
9:41 to go in the third. Hayden Hendrickson in on the stop alongside Troy Peters. That'll bring up 2nd down and 5 for the Tigers offense. Tigers offense, 139 total yards in that first half. Noah Shields' numbers look pretty good. 8 of 11 for 123 yards despite that interception. 4 receivers for Shield, takes the snap. Nice move by Sam Corey to get the pressure on deep ball right side. It's caught in Mason territory at the 40. That one hung up in the air. Wyatt Ball in the coverage. Landon Becker had a big play in the first half. Ended up getting stripped at the end of it. This time holds on to the football, and you could see Wyatt Ball had his arms in there trying to strip that ball out of there even at the very end of that play. 4 receiver set. They're going to motion Evan Crane. Handoff. Boucher up the left side. No room. Gain of a yard.
Number 9, Boucher.
See, that's what I was talking about, Colton. Those one-on-one matchups against the Mason DBs have not really looked in favor of Mason. It looks like Fenton's wide receivers are very good in the air. They almost had a large gainer in the first quarter, or at the end of the second quarter on the far hash, and they just got another one there off a 50-50 ball. They're going to probably do it again here.
Steele uncorks one, clean pocket, throws, it is incomplete. In and out of the hands. Troy Peters got a hand up there, and I think it disrupted Rory Shield. Lost the track of the football as it entered his hands. He couldn't haul it in inside the 10. It's incomplete. And that time, just no pressure at all. The Tigers' offensive line holds up, and that's the challenge if you're Mason. If you do run this, cover 1 or cover 0, and you line up in man coverage and you send the house, you've got to get pressure, or else you will get picked apart by Noah Shield. Bulldogs might have caught a break there. Good work by Troy Peters to track back and at least get a hand up to disrupt the receiver, but that could have been a lot worse for Mason. 3rd down, trip set to the right for Shield, takes the snap. Rush comes, throws out there, it's incomplete. Owen Attaway back there in coverage, making the play, and that's a creative blitz look from Mason. They drop off Owen Attaway, who's usually an outside linebacker, defensive end, pass rush kind of guy. They drop him off into coverage and bring a couple other guys from the second level. Offensive line did not pick them up, and the immediate pressure forced the incomplete pass.
Honestly, the Mason defensive scheme, if you've watched any NFL this year, it feels very similar to the Vikings, where they're showing a lot of blitzes, dropping people back. It's very, very creative.
That was Joey Child on the pass breakup, not Owen Attaway. 4 receivers set, 4th and 9, out of the gun. Shield rolling, under pressure, gonna get hit. Escapes, still rolling. Shield uncorks it, way up in the air, jump ball. Incomplete. And we got a flag down over on the far side, and based on the scramble drill, that usually means holding, but we'll see. The pressure from Drew Later almost brought him down. Noah Shield running for his life, and it will be holding on the Tigers, and that will be declined. And it'll be a turnover on downs. This time the pressure gets in there, and Noah Shield, when he doesn't set his feet, has not been hitting his spots. And that time they force him all the way around. He's running for his life. Finally just chucks one up into the air. He has to. It's 4th down. You got to throw it up. You got to get something. Can't take the sack. That's the worst thing you can do. But it ends up being all for naught with the holding penalty. And now the Bulldogs in firm control at their own 39-yard line with the football, leading 20-0. 3 receiver set for Carswell in the shotgun. The snap, handoff, good work in the backfield. Gavin Van Kirk gets brought down by Cameron Sheneman. Loss of 4.
That outside zone for Mason has not worked really since the first quarter, and they keep going to it. But I don't know what changed. The outside linebackers, though, for Fenton are keying so hard on outside zone, and it's just killing it.
Well, that's usually a play that works really well for Mason. It's a big feature of their offense. They use it to set up a lot of other stuff. But you're right, it hasn't worked. Tigers have been dedicated to stopping the outside run. And honestly, it's not the defense that's caused the issues for the Tigers. It's the offense not being able to score points. 3 receiver set. Carswell takes the snap. Rolls to his right. Now feels the heat. Still rolling. Cuts it all the way back. He's got blockers and lots of time now. Carswell throws deep left side. It is. Did he catch that? No, he did not. Talon Gardner laying out for it. Almost hauled that thing in, but it's incomplete. Case and Carswell doing his best Kyler Murray impression, just running, keeping the legs moving, looking downfield, trying to find something, and Talon Gardner almost came up with that in and out of his hands. Would have been a tough catch, diving catch on the far sideline, but it does go for nothing, 3rd down and 15.
Oh, I also was just noticing something really in the second half. There are 4 Fenton students here, and they are really loud. I can hear them from here. All 4 of them are really into the game right now.
It's a long drive, man. It's cool that they're here. Mason lining up in this heavy eye set. They threw out of this last time. They're going to do it again. Carswell under heat, spinning out of the pressure. Now he's got time, and he's got blockers. He's going to take off with it. Up over the 40, cutting it back. He's going to keep going over the 45 and out of bounds at the 46-yard line. He's going to come up about 4 yards short of the sticks. But, man, Case and Carswell took the snap, rolled to his right, swung all the way around, went to the far side of the field, came all the way back around to the near side of the field, ran about 60 yards to get 10, and now the punt unit's coming onto the field. And you can see Carswell, he's holding his sides, like, hey, hold on, coach, give me a minute. I just ran a 100-yard dash on the last play.
And the play before that, he also did. Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Let me catch my breath. He's got his hands on his knees back to receive this punt. He is still trying to catch his breath. I don't blame him. He's working hard. Now he's ready for it. The snap. Puts his foot into it. End-over-end kick. It'll hit a Mason foot at the 27 and bounce at the 28-yard line. So Mason does cover it up there. So that is where the Tigers will take over. But we do have a flag down. This is the 18-yard line, not the 28-yard line. So as it stands, a 36-yard kick from Carswell, no return. And it will be holding on the Tigers on the return. That'll back them up another 10. So they'll start this drive at their own 18-yard line. 7:01 to go in the third quarter. Are you trying to find a place to get your custom trim meats, special orders, and the best seafood in town? Mertz Specialty Meats in Okemos invites you to come see what they have to offer. They have steaks, chops, burgers, and brats, and with hard-to-find selections and unmatched customer service, Mertz is ready to serve you. Open 7 days a week just east of the Meridian Mall on Grand River. So that'll back them up from the original line of scrimmage at the 18-yard line back inside the 10. And for the third time, they will start inside their own 10-yard line. Last 2 times they did, they ended an interception and a punt. So a long way to go for the Tigers offense here. 3 receivers set to the right. Shield in the gun, takes the snap. Dropping back at his own goal line, rolls to his right, stepping up. Going to tuck it and run, and he's got nowhere to go. He'll be hit hard at the 7-yard line and dropped for a loss of 2.
Noah Shield with the carry.
6:40 to go. Logan Dorr getting in there.
And
Joey Shield involved as well, but every Bulldog in the front 7 was involved there. They flushed him out of the pocket. They collapsed down. They made the tackle. That's just good work from the front 7 altogether.
Yeah, it's a great team tackle. And as the announcer said, a pack of Bulldogs got there to finish him off. That's a great job, doing team defense for a very, very seasoned and veteran team.
6 1/4 to go in the third. Bulldogs up 20-0. Tigers trying to get something going on offense. 4 receivers, trips to the left. Shield trying to pitch it back at his own goal line. The ball's on the ground at the 1. It's loose down there. Who got it? I think it's Fenton. And it will be Fenton football back at the 1, but my goodness, they run an option pitch in the shadow of their own goalpost, and it almost cost them. Chris Dobek, first team all-league offensive lineman for this Tigers team, falls on the football, but now it's third down in ages. They got to get 19 yards for a first down, and they're at their own 1-yard line. Honestly, if you're the Tigers, priority 1 might be just give yourself some room to punt.
Yeah. I really don't know. That's just a not great play. They might go for a deep shot here, to be honest. That they might say we have enough room to punt. Why not try to catch Mason out on the back end?
4 receivers set for Noah Shield in the gun, and we got a flag down. And it might be delay of game. Maybe a sideline warning. Let's see what they've said. It will be delay of game on Fenton. And half the distance. I'm going to put down in my notes that that's a 1/2 yard penalty. And they're going to hurry up and get back up to the line quickly. Ball on the inch line for Shield in the offense. 4 receiver set. Mason in a deep shell. Shield takes the snap. Steps up. Throws deep down the right seam. He's incomplete. He had Rory Shield open, but he missed him. And again, that pressure gets in there. And when you get the pressure on the quarterback, he gets happy feet deep in his own end zone, and he misses his target. And now the Bulldogs are going to receive a punt, and this is going to be interesting. Let's see what Keegan McCardle, first-team all-league punter, can do. Usually you snap this ball a few yards deeper, and he's got his heels on his own end line.
Short punts are very scary, folks.
Punting into the wind as well.
Terrible.
The snap. McCardle gets it down, gets it away. That's a good punt into the breeze. It'll be fielded at the 35 by Wyatt Ball. There's no one there to tackle him. He's up over the 25, down to the 19-yard line. McCardle did everything he could with that punt, punting into the breeze. He has to get it away quickly. The rush is on, but no one got down to cover for him, and Wyatt Ball returns it all the way to the 19-yard line.
Yeah, my only experience when I was playing football with the short snap punt didn't go well. I played for Hazlitt. We got the punt blocked, and that specific punt had the whole program change from using the offensive linemen as the front blockers for the punt to putting to wide receivers and DBs there, so they had more speed to block people.
Heavy eye, handoff, right side, up over the 15 goes. I think that's Chapin down to the 11-yard line. Gain of about 7 on the run. And the Bulldogs, with 4 minutes to go in the third quarter, this defense is the story. This is one of the best defensive performances that you're going to see in high school football. Bulldogs have been nothing short of dominant, and it started on the first drive. Fenton got a big play. Hayden Hendrickson punched out the football, and ever since then, Mason has kept Fenton in check. Handoff, Chapin lowers the shoulder inside the 10, down to the goal line, put it on the board. Ah! Carson Chapin, angry running. And the Bulldogs said, give up the sticks. 3:42 to go in the third. Dogs up 26. Colin Winters on to try the extra point.
I'm a little surprised they're not going to go for 2 here just to go up an even 28.
Lining up in that same odd formation. Now they're going to motion everybody back in. They started doing this a few weeks ago, and they've done it on every PAT since. Went for 2 last time on a fake out of that formation. Not going to do that this time. Colin Winters splits the uprights. Mason 27. Fenton 0. Who saw this coming? The Bulldogs running roughshod over the Tigers right now. We'll see if the Tigers can come up with any sort of response. 3:42 to go in the third quarter. You're watching LansingTV12.com.
I'm Robert Dowding, associate broker and owner of the Robert Dowding Group at Keller Williams Realty. Originally from Eaton Rapids, my family and I now call Mason our home. On your next real estate transaction, put our over 30 years of experience and market knowledge to work for you. Call myself or Danielle French at the Robert Dowding Group today. We are your Mason hometown realtors.
Today I'm going to tell you about sportsmanship because it's important. Treat your opponents the way you would want to be treated. My mom says that. Listen to the referees. It's their job. Be nice to their team and
Jacob Ackley sends it away. Fielded at the 5. Coming back over the 20 is Boucher. Flag comes flying. He's over the 30. Going to be wrestled down at the 38-yard line, but that flag came out back at about the 31-yard line, so fully expect this one to come back as well. Tigers can't buy a bucket right now. When they take a step forward, they take a drastic step back in response, it feels like. They get a good return, it's a holding. They get a deep play, they turn it over. Just can't string together good plays right now. This is a better team than this. They've not played well tonight. As much as you want to give credit to the Mason defense, especially for how well they performed, this Fenton squad, they've made some uncharacteristic mistakes. So holding on the return is going to back up the Tigers to their own 16-yard line. And the Mason student section taunting that Fenton student section, telling them they can't hear them. And, well, there's not much to shout about right now. 27-0. Four receiver set for the Tigers. Trip set to the left. Option run to the right. The pitch and out of bounds goes Boucher at the 27 or the 17-yard line. Gain of 2 on the play.
Stop made by number 44, Logan Dorr.
Be second down and 9 at the 16-yard line. 3:30 to go in the third quarter. Four receivers set, throwing right side, caught up over the 20 and out of bounds at the 24-yard line. Gain of 9 on the play. Landon Becker, that's his 4th catch of the game. 99 receiving yards on 4 catches for Becker. Starting to see some smoke here on the above the near grandstand. I'm pretty sure it's from the the hot dog grill that they had.
No, the smell smells like gunpowder, like fireworks almost.
In any case, 4 receiver set, trips to the left. Up the middle on the QB draw, slung around and dropped back at the 22-yard line. A loss of 1 for Noah Scheel. Joey Child with another TFL. He's had a great night tonight. Great season he's had. You can hear a "Let's Go Tigers" chant from the Fenton student section, but they're going to send out this punt unit. .240 to go in the third. Bulldogs up by 27 and looking good doing it. Tigers going to punt this away on 4th and 2. McCardle puts his foot into it. That's a gorgeous punt. It's going to go over the head of the returner. He'll have to back up to it at the 36-yard line. Wyatt Ball gets it up to the 39, and that is where they will take over.
Ball with the return for the Bulldogs.
I really like Keegan McCardle's form. He's been in some difficult spots tonight, but that ball rotates really, really nicely off his foot. He's got really good form, and that's why he's first team all-league, all-Flint Metro League. He's both a kicker and a punter. We also saw him making 45-yarders at halftime. 2:19 to go. Ball on the 39-yard line. Straight eye behind Carswell.
Watch pass.
And now they're going to motion Logan Dorr up and now back again. Toss play to the right. Over the 40, spun and slung down at the 44 is Dom Rodriguez, and that flag comes in from the head ref. It's going to be a horse collar.
Brought down by Sheneman for the Tigers. There's a flag on the play.
Cameron Sheneman going to be the guilty party unless the head ref can be talked out of it by his crew. Head ref was pretty far away from the play. It's going to be a low block.
That's going to be a number 10 for the Fenton Tigers. I saw that. That was on against Logan Dorr. So Logan Dorr, being the fullback, was the lead blocker there. Got cut, chopped by number 10, the defensive back, about 5 yards off the line of scrimmage, Ian Beverly. So that's a very easy call. That was right following the play. Good job from the head ref to throw the flag for that. I saw it. I didn't originally think it was a foul, but once that flag came out, it confirmed my suspicions. That is a heck of a call to notice and recognize that foul on Beverly.
1st and 10 at the 41, under 2 to go in the third quarter. As the temperature continues to drop here in Mason. Heavy eye set to the left. Play action to the first guy. They're going to hand it off to the second guy. It's Rodriguez over the 40 to the 38-yard line. They fake the give to the up back and then hand it off to the deep back going the other way. Just a little misdirection in the backfield. And it's blind misdirection for the front of the line for the most part. It's really hard to see that motion in the backfield, so it can get confusing. You just get going the wrong way. But this time, the Tigers diagnose it well, and Rodriguez only gains about 3 yards. About a minute and 20 to go and counting here in the third. This year, the MHSAA is celebrating a century of sports. Help them celebrate 100 years of the MHSAA by visiting them online. See exclusive content about the people, places, and things that make school sports so special. Rivalries, records, and remembering some of the state's top players. Relive it all, MHSAA.com, and thank you to everyone who's been a part of a century of sports. 3 receivers for Carswell, fakes the give, quick throw left side, it's caught up at the 31-yard line. Sam Corey on the reception, and they're going to spot him. It looks like a little bit short of that line to gain. 4 catches, 52 yards for Sam Corey on the night.
Shy of the first down marker. Mason football, 3rd down. 1.
40 seconds to go. Mason will have to take a snap before the end of the quarter. Heavy eye set once more. They got Sam Corey isolated in single coverage on the near side. They will hand this one off. 1st down up to the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play. for Hayden Hendrickson.
Hendrickson with the carry.
The Robert Dowden Group spends a lot of time working in different communities, but the message is always the same. The housing market is hot, complicated, and complex. So what can you do? Work with a real estate professional who is patient, understanding, and dedicated to working with you, not through you. That real estate agent is Mid-Michigan's own Robert Dowding at Keller Williams Realty. If you're buying, selling, or unsure of what to do next, the Robert Dowding Group will take time to help you achieve your next step. Find them on Facebook at the Robert Dowding Group or call them 517-853-6390, 517-853-6390. End of 3. We'll take a break and come back. This is LansingTV12.com.
We are the MHSAA, a collection of 750 high schools and 750 middle schools, from Temperance to Copper Harbor, from New Buffalo to Alpena. Each year, more than 250,000 students play one of our 28 sports. More than 1.5 million fans attend our postseason games. There are 30,000 coaches and 8,000 officials, not to mention all of the volunteers. The MHSAA believes in the 4 S's. School sports should be safe and kept in the appropriate scope. We believe nothing beats great sportsmanship, and that scholarship in the classroom is more important than excellence on the field or court. Most of all, we believe school sports should be fun. So come out and join us at a game. Support your school, support your community, and come see what the excitement is all about.
Welcome back to Mason, 4th quarter underway. Wyatt Ball in the Wildcat here on 1st and 10 for Mason coming out of the break. They're going to motion into a trips tight set to the left. Gavin Van Kirk, the up back on the left side now. Pitches it to Peters, bounces it outside, gets a first down and more. Inside the 15, inside the 10, and Troy Peters into the end zone. Touchdown, Mason.
What a play design there, Colton. Wildcat reverse out of power. Okay.
So Wyatt Ball's going to get credit for the passing touchdown. Troy Peters, the 26-yard reception and scamper for the score. Broke a couple of tackles on his way. And Mason's just having fun now. It's 33-0. A statement win for the Bulldogs tonight. Extra point team is on, and now they're going to line up in a pistol, and they're going to snap it outside, and that one's nowhere near where it needed to be.
I guess that it's on film now. Why not do it more?
Yeah, they decided to do that awkward sideways snap to Van Kirk again, and this time he couldn't corral it. He got hit hard. So Mason, the only thing that really hasn't worked for them is those 2-point conversion plays. They've tried it twice, and I think that that's going to be the last we'll see of that play for a while.
Hey, they might do it again if they can score. They want to get it in.
33-0 your score. It has been all Bulldogs tonight. The Tigers, on the first drive of the game, got a big play down the field. Landon Becker was running inside the 10. Hayden Hendrickson hanging on to him, strips the ball out and falls on it. And ever since then, Mason has been the better team. And now if you're the defense, your goal is to try to keep the shutout, because getting a shutout over this Fenton team would just look that much better, especially on senior night. What a night for these seniors, man. Playing a game against a good Fenton team, a team that was expected to play you close. They're not playing you close right now. You played better than them all night.
And you know what the Bulldogs have done on senior night? Most likely earn themselves a home game throughout the district final.
We'll see how many they get. Jacob Ackley pings this one off the up back. Chaz Waddle dives on it at the 41.
With the reception on the kick for the Tigers, that's Chaz Weddle.
11:49 to go.
Fenton football, first down.
See what this Tigers offense can do now. But yeah, we will not know what the playoff situation looks like until the brackets are released over the weekend. Bubble screen left side. Not a lot of room there for Cooper Steves gets to the 44-yard line, gain of 3 on the play.
I love the bracket release. It's such a special time. I was lucky that both of my years in high school we made the playoffs. And what you do, or at least what we did, is on Sundays we normally had film session for the game that we played on Friday. Instead of doing film, we would sit, watch us get bracketed, and see who we play that next week.
4-receiver set. Boucher moving over to the left side of the formation. Play action, quarterback draw, bouncing it outside is Shield. Going to get up close to the line to gain. He's shoved out of bounds at midfield, depend on the spot. Looks like he's going to be about a yard shy of the line to gain. That'll bring up 3rd down and 1. Clock will stop, 10:58 to go. Yeah, this weekend we will see the brackets, and then once the brackets are announced, we'll figure out where we're going to be next week. A lot of factors in play. We could be here. We might be somewhere else. We don't know. 4-receiver set. Shield takes the snap, stepping up in the pocket, rips one across the field to the 31-yard line, but a flag is down.
That's going to be another low block. That's going on number 9 this time for the Fenton Tigers on Trent Boucher. That's going to be a low block on Trent Boucher on the blitzing linebacker from Mason. I don't remember who that was, but that's going to be almost certainly a low block on Trent Boucher.
I believe that was Joey Shield who was blitzing, and Boucher looks like he's pleading his case, but there are 2 flags down and 2 referees who seem to be in agreement. And it will be a personal foul and a low block, like you said. And just same song, how many verses for the Tigers? Okay, never mind. So those penalties will offset. We'll rerun 3rd down. Mason has only had 2 penalties accepted tonight. 3rd and 1. 4 receivers. For Shield in the shotgun, takes a snap, false start. I think Rory Shield went early.
You know, the cold might be getting into him. Or it might just be spooky season cold. You never know what's going to happen. Witches, brooms, pumpkins everywhere, costumes. It's just freaky stuff happens in October football.
Well, I sure hope the weather's not getting to him, because if this kind of cold is going to get you to play like this, then Fenton's going to have a hard time in the playoffs because it's not getting any warmer.
I don't know. It was like 80 degrees 2 days ago. That's all. It dropped, but I don't know. I played golf 2 days ago, Colton. Michigan winter's weird.
3rd and 6, 4-receiver set. After the penalty, Mason sends 5. The line holds. Shield, deep ball down the middle, and that's to nobody. I think he was trying to get it to Evan Crane, was trying to direct traffic, trying to point out where he wanted his guys to go, but just threw it to a spot where there was nobody. And on 4th and 6, and wouldn't be surprised to see the Tigers leave the offense out here just to try to push for some points. In a game that's already well out of hand, you'd love to get the 0 off the board at least. So Tigers will line up at a 4-receiver shotgun formation. On 4th and 6, Mason showing blitz. They send 5. Shield setting up middle screen, and it's incomplete. Tried to throw it to Boucher. Bulldogs had that pretty well covered. Throw was a bit offline. And it's another turnover on downs for the Tigers. Fumble, interception, fumble, punt, halftime, punt, turnover on downs. That has been the Tigers' story on offense tonight. Dominant performance by this Bulldogs defense. And they're going to get the football once more. Already up 33-0. So I want to get back to the point about where we will be next week. The answer is we don't know.
Check Twitter. We don't have that anymore. Check Facebook.
It'll be on Facebook, yeah. Instagram, and Blue Sky. Check that early next week at Lansing Herald on all those platforms. Check early next week after the schedule has been announced, and you will find out where we're going. We have no idea either.
Who doesn't love Selection Sunday?
I formation, handoff, right side, Chapin up to about the 41-yard line. When I say I formation, again, Mason running out of that heavy set with the extra fullback. We're seeing a lot more of that around high school football. We've seen that more in the last few weeks even. We saw a ton of that yesterday, actually, in the JV game that we did. Goodrich was running that against Williamston.
You know who's really popularizing that? And I think it's really come into a favor in power run schools because of the success of Army and Navy this year. Army and Navy both have a lot of success running out of that formation.
I'm pretty sure Navy Notre Dame is tomorrow.
It is tomorrow.
And
Navy Notre Dame is tomorrow.
My best friend is an Irish fan. I'm going to his house. We're watching that game. The give on the misdirection up over the left side. A lot of room for Dom Rodriguez. Inside the 30, plants his foot, cuts it back at the 25. Still going. Inside the 20. Still going down to the 16-yard line. Dom Rodriguez. 49 yards on 5 carries for him.
What a play. Scampering. He's slippery.
Elusive. 9 minutes to go, and the Bulldogs, like, they're running out of things to cook with. They already passed through wood and gas and induction. They're cooking with, I don't know, man. They're on fire right now. Can't do anything wrong. Heavy eye. Set to the right. Carswell up under center. Give Rodriguez. This time they're going to drop him at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there.
Number 3, Dominic Rodriguez.
Under 8.5 to go.
Their first for the Tigers, number 33, Bennett Judith. No game.
So for Fenton, this is going to be a disappointing setback. Back-to-back disappointing weeks, though, for Fenton, and that is not how you want to go into the playoffs. They were 7-0 8 days ago. They got popped by Goodrich, 42-3. That's a good Goodrich team. But then to come into Mason and get the same treatment, it's pretty disheartening to go into the playoffs on back-to-back blowout losses after having such a prominent start. Carswell chucks it up into the near corner of the end zone. There's a lot of contact, and that could be on anybody.
I bet that's offensive PI.
There are 2 flags down for pass interference. Talon Gardner was going up against Weston Jones, and I'd call that one on Gardner personally from up here. Gardner looked like he was pulling on Jones, trying to get him away from that underthrown football, which honestly, that's better than an interception.
Yeah, honestly,
it's better than an interception to take the penalty.
I guess that's OPI as well.
I'm pretty sure that's what the call is going to be. No, they're going to call it on Jones. We're Mason Home Radio. Like, we're the Mason Home Radio crew. And as the Mason Home Radio crew, that was a bad call. That's not a good call.
Realistically, that should have been offsetting because
if anything,
it should have been offsetting.
Like if
the Mason call for that to be defensive pass interference is because he was inhibiting his way to the underthrown ball, I should say. So that technically is DPI. But that should have been offsetting.
We'll come back to that in a second. Is another heavy eye set for Mason here. 7:43 to go, fourth quarter. Handoff right side. Caleb Vaughn bouncing outside. Going to be cut down hard at the 2-yard line. That's a gain of 5. So going back to the previous play.
Number 23, Caleb Vaughn with the carry.
So, yes, on an underthrown ball, the defender cannot impede the receiver's progress back to the ball. But Weston Jones had his head around, his body around, and was playing the football and got grabbed by the receiver and pulled down. That's a very generous call for Mason on a night where they've already got everything going their way. Heavy eye once again, handoff, deep back, pushing to the goal line. And he's in. Touchdown Mason, Caleb Vaughn getting on the board. The captain, the senior. And it's 39-0 Mason. So Winters will try to make it 40. Snap good, spot down, kick is up and good.
Yep, the extra point is good.
Make your gift-giving opportunities an experience and not just a chore on a checklist. Keen's Store Company in downtown Mason has wonderful and unique gifts for everyone on your list. In a store that will bring back memories while making new ones. With 2 floors of unique items, every corner has something worth treasuring. Open 7 days a week, you can visit them at any time. Let's get you updated on some scores from around the area. We don't have an update on Sexton Eastern. It was 36-0 last time we heard anything. Fowlerville leads Charlotte 27-12. DeWitt leads Everett 48-20 in the third quarter. Goodrich leads Williamson 35-0 in the fourth. East Lansing also leads 35-0. They're up over the Holt Rams. Ionia beating Lakewood 15-0 in the second. Pewamo Westphalia Lansing Catholic, that's a fun one. 28-28 in the fourth quarter out there between two teams that are both trying to get some home playoff games. Waverly leading Tecumseh 21-7 near the end of that one. Milan has the beating of Eaton Rapids 34-0 in the third quarter. Grand Ledge over Okemos 29-3. That was at halftime.
Scored.
Olivet 37, Comstock Park 0 in the fourth. Portland leading Whitehall. Portland trying to get a home game in the playoffs 35-0 over Division 4 number 20 Whitehall. St. John's all over Alpena 47-0. Stockbridge beating Dansville 20-3. And Perry leading Vassar 21-20 at halftime is the most recent update we have on that one. And, of course, it's all Mason here. 40-0 over Fenton with 7:08 to go. And I believe we're in a running clock situation. That takes place after the kickoff.
Oh, yes, it does. That's so surprising. Who expected running clock in this game? Number 4 versus number 12.
Nobody.
By the underdogs, too.
Even if you thought
underdogs.
Even if you thought that Mason was going to come in and beat Fenton and just beat them straight up, you didn't think they were going to beat them 40-0. That was not on the table. 7:08 to go in the fourth quarter. Ball's on the tee for Jacob Ackley. He's going to be kicking this one from right to left across your radio.
Just to add something, let's add something to producer and chief meteorologist. We have chief optimist as well. He added so far to the end of that last statement. It is 40-0 so far.
So far can mean that it could get worse for Fenton.
Well, yes, but he's vying for Fenton to win this. He's a chief optimist. He's chief optimist.
Glenn's first love is a good football game. Jacob Ackley puts the ball on the tee and drives this one down the near sideline. That one is going to stay in bounds almost. It rolls out at the 5. That is the worst feeling in the world as a kick returner. Evan Crane, he's watching that one roll down inside the 5, begging for it to roll out of bounds. He's like, please let this roll out of bounds. And it finally does at the 5-yard line. 7:08 to go in the fourth quarter. On the road and in a hurry, but don't want the hassle or guilt of fast food. Instead of the drive-thru, get good food fast. Fabiano's Grocery and Deli at the corner of Wacusta and Grand River Roads. Stop in for their pizza slices that are made with fresh dough and sauce every single day. It's a great place for breakfast. Get an amazing breakfast pizza with cheese, eggs, and bacon for a couple dollars in a couple of minutes. Get yourself the handmade meal you deserve. Fabiano's Grocery and Deli. Grand River and Wacusta in Grand Ledge. Clock is moving under 7 minutes. We're into a running clock situation here. Fenton Tigers going to try to get on the board. Shield lost the football. Mason's got it. Inside the 20, down to the 15. Shield lost the handle. The Mason Bulldogs can do no wrong. Brett Camp picked up the loose ball. I think Drew Later is going to get credit for the forced fumble. The clock continues to roll. 6:15 to go, and Mason putting the state on notice. We do have a flag down, apparently. It's going to be an unsportsmanlike penalty on Fenton, and that's just a frustration foul.
And the man who recovered that's Brett Camp. What a way to, end the regular season for the Bulldogs. Getting a fumble recovery inside the red zone. What a play from him.
Ball on the 16. Handoff left side. Dom Rodriguez going to get about a yard. A familiar face to us going to be taking these snaps for Mason is Garrett Coate, the JV quarterback, getting some run. projected to be the starter next season. So good to see him get some run with the varsity squad here in these final few minutes. They're going to sub him out. Ben Kish running in there. Now he's going to run back out. They're just getting the play from the sideline. 5:40 to go. Second down and 9. 4 takeaways by this Mason defense against the number 4 team in Division III. Under center, Coat, I formation behind him, takes the snap. Give Rodriguez, tries to bounce it all the way out to the sideline, but can't find any room, maybe gets a yard.
I just want to say, if you could hear a "Let's Go Defense" chant going on, there are 2 students left in the section, and they are loud, they are proud. They don't care that it's 40-0, cold and windy. They are out here cheering like their life depends on it for the Tigers.
And look, if you're a Fenton Tigers fan tonight, obviously this week and last week, major red flag performances. These were not good performances. Your team did not play well either of these 2 games. The good news is you're still a good football team. You're still going to the playoffs. You're probably still getting a home game. You're ranked number 4 in Division III. You're probably still going to get a home game if you're the Tigers. So still very much everything to play for the Tigers. Toss play left side. Trying to find the edge is Rodriguez, and he's going to be dropped at the 13-yard line, gain of a yard. Clock continues to run.
You know, honestly, something I wouldn't be surprised with is if these teams meet in 2 weeks' time in a district final.
It's very possible.
Just because of locations on these teams. The problem is Division III, there are a lot of playoff-bound D3 teams in the Lansing area. You have DeWitt and St. John's, notably. But, you know, DeWitt's going to get 2 home games, so they probably won't have Mason in the district. That means Mason might host Fenton in 2 weeks' time, if I had to guess.
We'll see what happens. We'll find out over the weekend as Colin Winters is out to try a 30-yard kick from the left hash. Snap is good. Spot down. Kick on the way. It is up. He splits the uprights. Colin Winters is good. 43-0. The clock will stop for the change of possession with 3:37 to go. The Mason Bulldogs, dominant. We'll send it to a break. You're watching LansingTV12.com.
I'm Robert Dowding, associate broker and owner of the Robert Dowding Group at Keller Williams Realty. Originally from Eaton Rapids, my family and I now call Mason our home. On your next real estate transaction, put our over 30 years of experience and market knowledge to work for you. Call myself or Danielle French at the Robert Dowding Group today. We are your Mason hometown realtors.
.337 left in the 4th quarter. The Mason Bulldogs, top to bottom, dominant performance. Couldn't have asked for more if you're Gary Houghton on senior night against one of the best teams you're going to face all season. Let's go back to the beginning of the season. Let's go back to the very beginning of the season. Mason lost to DeWitt 55-21. They didn't look very good in that game. DeWitt was very good in that game. And now here you are at the end of the season. Mason, from the beginning of the season to the end, has drastically improved. If Mason and DeWitt played tomorrow night, that would be a good game at this point. The way Mason's playing right now. And DeWitt's still obviously extremely good. DeWitt's beating Everett, a good team, by 28 in the 3rd quarter. But if Mason and DeWitt meet up again, I expect that to be a good football game. DeWitt will be the favorite, and they will deserve to be, but it'll at least be a good football game. Kickoff is bobbled by the returner and rolls out of bounds. And now you've got some JV guys out there, some guys whose numbers are not on our roster sheet. So we're going to do the best we can with numbers here in this final 3 minutes and 18 seconds. But really, it's just going to be a couple of handoffs, and then everyone's going to go home.
The one sad thing about Mason's roster sheet is they don't have the grades, so we couldn't tell you who the seniors, well, like we sort of know, but we don't know every senior that got to play tonight, and if every, I'm assuming they did since it's a 43-0 blowout. But, you know, it's nice to shout out the seniors on senior night. It's hard to do when you don't got the grades on the rosters.
Under 3 minutes to go. The Mason Bulldogs letting Division III know that they are still very much in the state championship conversation. Snap, rolling to his left. The backup quarterback wearing number 18. He's going to be dropped back at the 9-yard line. Again, I don't know who this is. I believe this is a fourth quarter JV player. He's not on our roster. So the PA just said that his name is Reese Scheel. So we're going to go with that. Reese Scheel gets brought down back at the 11-yard line. Loss of 6 on the play. Clock continues to move as we approach 2 minutes to go. Fenton Tigers lost 42-3 to Goodrich a week ago. They're going to lose 43-0 to Mason tonight. But the good news is, once that clock strikes midnight tonight, it's a whole new season. It's just you and 31 other guys. You just need to win 5 games in a row, and you're state champs. It's that simple. Everyone has the same opportunity in the high school football bracket. An illegal procedure penalty against Fenton will back them up with 1:43 to go. They're going to wind this clock. They're going to try to wind this clock. Referee is making the signal, waiting for someone in the box to notice him. The Mason Bulldogs learned from that DeWitt loss. Handoff up the gut. Gain of about 4 for Fenton. After that game, Mason got it back together. They worked through their schedule. They played extremely well. They lost a close one last week to Walled Lake Western, another top team in the division. And tonight, they beat the mess out of the Fenton Tigers. Landon Rice in on that tackle. Under a minute to go. Keegan Zarka and Tegan Carl lining up a defensive tackle for Mason. Out of the shotgun, running up the middle, up over the 15. Scheel lowers the shoulder out to the 21-yard line. That'll bring up 4th down. But with under 40 seconds to go, I doubt there will even be a snap taken. The broadcast of today's game is a copyrighted presentation of the Michigan High School Athletic Association and the Lansing Herald Media Group. No reproduction, retransmission, or other distribution of the descriptions or accounts of this game may take place without the express written consent of the MHSAA and the Lansing Herald Media Group. Mason student check section chanting, I believe that we have won. In fact, they have 43-0. Mason, a dominant performance to end the regular season. We're going to find out along with you where they'll play next week. And then on about Monday or so, check Facebook, Instagram, and Blue Sky at Lansing Herald to find out where we will be next Friday. For all of us at the Lansing Herald Media Group and LansingTV12.com. Glenn Dudasek on the 1s and 2s. Tom Lewandowski, I'm Colton Wesley. Thank you so much for joining us. Once again, your final score, Mason 43, Fenton 0. You've been watching MHSAA football on LansingTV12.com.